Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. I'm so grateful to have you practicing. We're going to do a hip opening practice, pretty short practice, probably about 25 minutes or so. And we're going to open up the full range of motion of the hips, which can really help you calm your nervous system and make your lower back and your whole kind of core area feel better. Please subscribe to my videos if you haven't already, share, like, all those things. It really helps me and I appreciate it. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and lay down on the back, and we're gonna start on the back. It's a great place to start. Resting on the back lets you unwind your spine. So we're gonna let the legs extend out. Separate your heels a little bit, let your arms rest alongside the body. And take a couple moments to arrive in your body. Let the head roll from side to side. Let the floor support your back body. Take a circle or two with your lower jaw to unclench and unwind any gripping in the jaw. And bring your nose back in alignment with the navel. We're going to bring the soles of feet together. Let the knees splay open into Supta Baddha Konasana. Just for a couple of moments. Let the knees splay open. Let the tailbone fall toward the front of your mat so you have a little more of a lower back curve. Then squeeze the knees in together, bring your feet on the floor. We're going to hug the left knee in toward the body, give it a little squeeze. Then bring your left heel right behind your right sitting bone. Now reach your right hand for the top of your left foot. Let your left knee fall away from the body. So that left outer knee moves out and away from the hip, whatever amount's available. And then again, your right hand is on top of that left foot. And then go ahead and reach your left arm up alongside the ear, palm facing up. Inch your ribs over to the right a little bit, look to the right. Press your center of your left knee away from your left fingertips. Take a breath. Inhaling into that left side, then exhale, come into a cactus arm. Coming back to center, nose in alignment with the navel. Now hug your right knee in toward your body and take your hands in front of the right shin. Gather that right thigh towards you. Draw the right thigh toward your body and keep feeling that outer left knee draw down toward the floor. Breathing there, hold. Relax your shoulder blades. Then extend the right sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Hands are behind the thigh bone, calf, ankle, or it's pretty early in the practice, but if you're feeling open, you can reach for the toes with a little bit of a bend in that right knee. If that's not available, hands are behind the calf or behind the thigh bone. It's okay if that left knee starts to travel off the ground a little bit. Let it naturally just fall forward, whatever amount's available. Good. Then we're gonna open your elbows, bring your face toward your knee toward your face, and exhale out. Let your head fall back. Release your right foot onto the ground. Press through your right foot. Hug your left knee in. Give it a squeeze. Release your left foot down to the floor. Now go ahead and hug your right knee in. Give it a hug toward your right thigh. Flex your right foot. Give your thigh a hug toward your right side rib. Flex your right foot. Then bring your right heel. You might be able to see it better on that side. Bring your right heel behind your left sitting bone. Let your right knee fall open. So it's a half lotus position. Let that right knee fall open any amount. There's a little bit of flex in that right knee. Good. And then reach your right arm up alongside the ear. Turn your face to the left. Good. Inhale, then exhale, hug your left knee in toward your body. Interlace your hands in front of that left shin. Flex your left foot. And as you draw that left thigh toward the side rib, keeping that right foot subtly flexed, press the outer right knee down away from your left shoulder, whatever amount. So there's some opening right in that right inner thigh in front of the hip. Breathing there. Keeping the jaw and the shoulders relaxed. And then you can extend the left sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Hands are behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle. Good. Walking your hands up any amount. You may be able to touch your toes. Then open your elbows. Exhale, face to knee, knee to face. And then release, bring your left foot down onto the ground, press through your left foot. We're gonna hug the right knee in, we're gonna hug the left knee in, and then come into full happy baby. Elbows on insides of knees, hands on the ankles or the outside edges of the feet. And then start to press your legs open, whatever amount, toward the shape of a V. It's totally fine if that doesn't feel great. You could always stay in that happy baby, opening out toward a V any degree. Then coming back to center. Bring the soles of feet together, let the knees splay open. Rest the outside edges of the feet onto the ground. Reach your arms up. Stretch your fingers away from your toes. On the inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. Bring your feet on the floor. Then hug your right knee in toward the body. Give it a squeeze. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh for figure 4. Thread the needle and take your hands into the left knee crease and extend the left sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Flex your left foot. The right foot is also flexed. And then press your right thigh bone, the head of that femur bone, right into the hip socket. Let the shoulders relax. Point and flex through that left foot. Breathing there, letting your mind linger on the area of the most sensation. Then hug the legs a little bit closer in toward the body, lightly uncross. Release your feet onto the floor, hip width distance apart. Press through your right foot, hug your left knee in. Flex that left foot, hug the left thigh toward the body. Cross your left ankle on top of that right thigh. And then thread the needle. Hands are right in that right knee crease, just below the knee crease. Interlace the fingers anywhere behind that right thigh. Flex, point through that right foot. Left inner knee drawing away from the body. Good. Breathing there, letting your mind again move to the area of the most sensation. And we're gonna hug the legs a little closer in. And then uncross, come back to full happy baby. Hands reaching for the ankles or the outside blades of the feet. Soles of feet facing the sky. Good. And then we're gonna release, soles of feet together, knees splay open, reach your arms up alongside the ears. Take a big full inhale, stretching through the fingertips. Exhale, squeeze your knees in, bring your hands through heart center. And resting your hands on your rib cage, anywhere on your rib cage. Feet are gonna heel toe a little bit wider apart. We're gonna windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Massaging out through your lower back. Good. Then bring the knees back to center, hug your knees in, start to rock and roll on the spine. So we're gonna rock and roll to get enough momentum to come on up to sit. If it's not possible for you to get that much momentum, make your way up to sit. However you get there, we're gonna come all the way up to sit, cross your ankles, go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Feet are flexed, we're gonna inhale, lift up, and then exhale, lean forward. Walk your hands forward as much as you can. Let the chin drop toward your chest. Sway your rib cage side to side. When you rock your rib cage to the right, walk your hands all the way over to the right as much as you feel you can. Look towards your right hip. Breathe along that left side. Deep down into that left hip crease. Inhale, exhale, walk back to center. Walk your hands all the way over to the left. Bringing out that left side, look toward your left hip. Right sitting bone dropping down. Breathe all along that right side seam down into the lower back, SI joint, into that right hip. Inhale, exhale, walk back to center. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep that right leg in the same position. The right foot is flexed. So this is like a pigeon position for that right foot. Then we're gonna slide that left leg around, coming into a pigeon shape with the left leg extending back. The top of the left foot flat. You can always look and see that the baby toe side of the foot is in alignment with the outer knee and the outer hip. We're gonna roll the left hip forward and down. And then bring your palms onto the floor about shoulder width. Drop your shoulders down, look up. We're gonna inhale, Then when you exhale, walk your hands wider than the shoulders, roll your chin down toward the chest. The right foot is flexed. Now inhale, wave on up, looking up, and then exhale, roll down, open the elbows. Inhale, waving up, looking up, exhale, rolling down, chin toward chest, then inhale, waving up, and exhale, rolling down, chin toward chest. Inhale, we're gonna wave up. We're gonna shift into that right thigh. Now you can use your left hand to help guide that left leg around, or you can take your hands to heart center, use your core strength to slide that left foot around toward the outside of your right hip. Don't mind the big hole in my yoga leggings. These are some of my oldest kind of faves. We're gonna turn to the right. We're gonna take the right fingertips around behind you. Now, reach your left fingertips up away from the hip on the inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're gonna turn. Take your left arm on the inside of the right knee. Look over your right shoulder. And then touch your left first finger and thumb together for Gaya Mudra. A breath or so there, hugging the belly into the spine on the exhale. And then as you inhale, we're gonna come around back to center. Let's come to an eagle leg from that position. So it's actually, I think, not eagle leg, it's cow face leg, Gomukhasana leg. So you let that left knee fall forward a little bit. The knees are about in alignment with each other. It's okay if that left knee is pretty far away from, the top knee is pretty far away from the bottom knee. What we're gonna do is have our hands on the feet and then lean forward and sit up. And lean forward and sit up. Lean forward and sit up. Lean forward and sit up. Take your fingers behind you. We're gonna uncross, step your feet really wide apart. Feet are really wide apart. Windshield wiper the knees to the right. Let that left knee roll over. So there would be a nice line from that left shin right to the sole of that right foot. And then you turn to face your right knee. You're gonna lean over that right knee for a moment, nose toward the knee. Then sit up really tall and walk your hands around onto your mat. Look over your right shoulder. Good. Then if it feels available, go ahead and come down right onto your forearms, bringing your elbows right underneath your shoulders and peek toward your right hip. And breathe there. When you inhale, the belly expands. Exhale, you're gonna carve the belly in and ground your elbows into the floor, away from that right thigh bone. And then the next time you exhale, gather the belly in, slowly walk yourself back up onto your hands. Then we're gonna windshield wiper all the way over to the left. Sliding the knees over to the left, sitting up really tall. You're facing your left knee. You're gonna lean forward, bring your nose toward your left knee. Then go ahead and sit up, turn, right rib toward left rib, walk your hands around. Let that whole right hip and ribs swing around toward the midline and turn, look over the left shoulder. So you can stay upright or you're gonna come down to the forearms. Elbows are gonna be under the shoulders, lightly interlace the fingers, and then you're really kind of turning that right lower rib into the belly, inhaling into the belly, and then exhale, hugging the belly in, peek toward your left hip. Let the outer left thigh from that hip to the knee kind of press out and down. Breathe. And when you exhale to gather the belly in, start to walk yourself up onto your hands. Slowly, we're gonna turn around back to center. We're gonna cross the left ankle on top. Left ankle on top, inhale, reach up through the fingertips. Open the arms to a big T, then reach forward, forward, forward. Feet are flexed, take a nice forward fold. Chin toward chest. Then walk your hands back toward your ankles. We're gonna sit up tall. Now we're gonna start to slide that right leg around. The left leg has this pigeon shape. So as you come into pigeon, you don't have to have like this big right angle with the left knee. Actually, I prefer to have that left heel a little closer toward the midline, but we do wanna have the left foot flexed. We're coming into pigeon. Now, you could stay in pigeon with that right knee forward. Sometimes I teach that, just lay over that left thigh. If you're able to go a little more, you're gonna extend that right leg straight back. So it's the inner thighs are like coming into a split. Inner thighs are scissoring apart. Right hip point rolling down. And then when you inhale, let's walk the fingers a little wider. Then we're gonna exhale, fold forward, chin toward chest. And then inhale, you're pressing through the top of that right foot, lifting up. And exhale, rolling down, chin toward chest. Inhale, waving up. And exhale, waving down. Good, and then inhale, waving up. May have done one extra, and then exhale, waving down. We're gonna come on up onto your fingertips. We're gonna shift to that outer left thigh. Now you can use your right hand to help you, or you can use your core strength to slide that right leg around. Bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh, turn to the left, take your right arm on the inside of the knee, so there's a little bit of a traction. The center of the right knee can point right up. You're hugging that inner right leg into the arm tractioning into the leg, then turn to the left, right first finger and thumb touch, Gaya Mudra. Breathing there. Left shoulder gliding away from the ear. Left side rib lifting up from the hip to the underarm. We're going to inhale, then exhale, come back to neutral. We're going to come into that cow face pose, legs. Both feet are flexed. It's nice to take your hands on your ankles or the tops of the feet. And then we're going to let that right knee fall forward. And you can lean forward a little bit and then sit up. Lean forward a little bit and then sit up. And lean forward low and sit up and lean forward and sit up. Take your fingers behind, uncross, take your feet really wide apart. A couple windshield wipers side to side. Still working with this nice kind of range of motion through the hips. Good. Then come on back to center, bring your feet in. Press through the feet, cross either ankle on top, roll over the knees. Come into your tabletop position. And then send your hips back toward the heels, lift your knees, come up into downward facing dog. Send the sitting bones high. We're gonna stretch the right heel high for a three-legged dog and open your right hip. Bring your right heel toward the left sitting bone. Keep lifting your left underarm. Bring your right knee away from the base of your right wrist. Inhale, and then exhale, knee to nose. Slide your right foot forward right between your hands. Then we're gonna heel toe the right foot so that the outside edge of your right foot is in alignment with the outside of your mat. Touch your left knee down to the ground, or you could put it on a blanket. And then we're gonna take the top of that left foot flat, so we're in a lizard lunge. Really deep left inner thigh groin and deep hip opening posture, lizard lunge. The right sits bone drops toward the floor. And I personally really prefer to stay upright on the hands because it can get pretty intense to just stay here and breathe from this perspective. If you're able to, you can come down to the forearms and be there for a couple breaths. You could even put your forearms on blocks if you use blocks in your practice. And breathe there. Slight engagement of the left gluteal. Pressing through the ball of your right foot. Good, and then we're gonna walk ourselves back up onto the hands if we weren't already. Take your left hand a little wider than the shoulder, even more than you normally would. Take your right hand onto the outer thigh and just draw that right shoulder away from the ear, look to the right. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, release, palms to the floor. Now tuck your left toes, lift your left thigh. We're gonna spin that left heel down and turn your right toes in, your right heel out. Find a nice wide-legged stance. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold into Prasarita, Padottanasana. So your toes are turned in a little, heels out. Take your outer ankles, open your elbows, let your head go. Breathing there. Full inhales, long, slow exhales. You might as well inhale, lift up, lengthen, look forward, then exhale, let out your mouth and fold. Two more. Inhale, lift up, lengthen through the nose. You breathe. Inhale, and then exhale, let it out. Inhale, exhale. Good. Look toward your right foot. Walk your hands toward your right foot. Turn your right toes to point straight ahead. Let's step into a plank. Bring your knees down, come all the way onto the belly. Zip your feet together. We're gonna reach around, easy locust, rooting through the hips. Inhale everything else up, or bend your knees, reach around for the tops of the feet. And inhale, fill the belly. Exhale without slingshotting, lightly release your feet, tuck your toes, palms under elbows, send the hips toward the heels with toes tucked. And then come on up to downward dog. Pedal out the feet, lifting one heel at a time. Then stretch that left heel high, three-legged dog. Open the left hip, gently stack it on top of the right. Hinge that left heel toward the right sitting bone. We're going to inhale, draw that left knee away from the right wrist. And then exhale, knee to nose. Step the left foot between the hands. Then we're going to heel toe the left foot, bringing that outer blade of the foot in alignment with the outside edge of your mat. Right knee comes down, top of right foot flat. Fine to stay here. Let your inner thighs scissor apart. Let that left sitting bone drop down. Working there is just fine, or more intensity is going to come down to the forearms. And let the chin come down toward the chest, and you breathe there. So you're going to be wherever you're at in that position. Wherever you're able to find that smooth connection to the breath. Relax your jaw. Then we're going to press through the top of the right foot, walk yourself up onto your hands. Take your right hand a little wider than the shoulder, maybe even more than you're used to, right onto the bare floor. Then we're going to turn right rib toward left rib. Take your left hand to the outer thigh and look to the left. Engage gently through the right gluteal. Good, we're going to inhale there, into the belly, and then exhale. Go ahead and release the hands down on the inside of the inner left heel. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in, your left heel out. And I'm going to adjust to this direction so my butt's not facing the camera. We're going to inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale. We're going to fold. Take your hands on your lower back. Give your lower back a little love. You can rub your hands on the back, or you can interlace the fingers, wring the arms away from the back. Let the head hang. Good. And one more inhale. And exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground. Look toward your left foot. Walk your hands towards your left foot. Turn your left toes to point straight ahead. Swing the back heel over the toes. Step right forward toward the top of your mat. Fold Uttanasana. Then drop the tail. We're going to heel toe the feet wider. Turn your toes out slightly. Start to drop the tail as you come into a squat. Now, if a squat is excruciating for you, you can sit cross-legged and meet us there in a moment. Or you could put a block under your tailbone. If you're able, let the tailbone drop. Bring your elbows to the insides of the knees. Bring your hands to heart center. And sit up really tall. Good. Looking up. It's Malasana. Deep inner thigh groin posture. Let the lower back really drape down. Good. Lift up through the back of the head. We're going to inhale into the belly, and then exhale, release the fingertips to the floor, round the spine, chin toward chest. Then take your hands back behind you, tented fingers for support. Drop your sitting bones down, bring your feet on the floor. Extend your legs out straight. We're going to extend the legs out straight. Sit up nice and tall, feet are flexed. Inhale, reach the arms up. Open the arms to a big T. Exhale, belly in. Slowly we're going to come back. Belly in, come all the way back. Come down to your back. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out. We're going to inch the body back on the mat if you aren't already. And then bring the soles of feet together. Let the knees splay open. Take your hands to the top of the thigh bones. Give a little press. Press the thigh bones away from your face. Then squeeze your knees in. Bring your feet on the floor. Now, we're going to step the feet forward a little bit away from the hips. We're going to take our right heel behind that left sitting bone. Take your left hand again for the top of that right foot. Then let your right knee fall away. I'm just remembering when we did this sequence the first time on the back, I forgot to touch the hand to the foot on one of the sides, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect. The right knee is going to draw away from the hip there, and we're going to take this half lotus pose. And you can be in that half lotus, the right hand resting on your chest, or we're going to work toward a full reclined lotus, only if this feels okay. Bring that left knee in toward the body, give it a little squeeze. Then you're going to bring that left heel over on top and toward that right hip point. Then we're going to take that left knee away from your face, and you're going to gather that left heel a little closer toward the hip crease and let that left knee fall away. So at first, it may be very, very high up, pointing toward the ceiling almost. We stay and breathe for a couple moments. We may be able to allow a little gradual release so that eventually the left knee starts to travel down. So we're in some version of a reclined full lotus pose. You don't have to overdo. Again, both feet are slightly flexed. And breathe there. There is kind of a natural curve through the lower back. You can allow that. You could have your left hand on the belly, or you could touch your left hand to the right foot. Breathe there for another breath or so. The nose is right in alignment with the navel. And then slowly point that left knee up. We're going to unwind and extend that left sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And then release and extend your right foot toward the ceiling and shake your feet off. Shake your feet off. And then bring your feet down. Give them a couple stamps. Let's do the other side. See if we can replicate it. Then take your left heel right behind that right sitting bone. Let that left knee fall away. Right hand's going to touch to the top of the left foot. Maybe that's going to be where you stay, gradually allowing that left knee to fall away from the body. Or we're going to go ahead and hug that right knee in toward the body, both hands in front of the shin, give it a little squeeze. Then you start to bring that right heel. You want to bring it at least over the hip, maybe a little bit more up toward this left kind of lower belly area. And then you start to let that right knee fall away. The right foot is flexed. Left hand can be on top of that right foot. Let the right knee just gradually point away toward that upper right hand corner of your mat. Your right hand could be on the belly, or it could touch the left foot. And then we breathe there. Breathe through the nose. It's okay if that right knee is pretty lifted. You can see mine is pretty lifted today. Gradually, that entire outer right knee might start to drop down toward the ground over time, but you don't have to force. Able to breathe. Good. And we're going to start to point that right knee up, unwind, extend your right sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Unwind, extend your left foot up, shake your feet. Good. Couple stamps. Good. Heel toe your feet mat with distance apart. Let your knees knock in to touch. Interlace your hands behind your head and take a little bit of a sit up just to reset your lower back. Press your feet into the ground, scoop your tail. Elbows point toward the front of your mat. Then release your head back. Let your arms release alongside the body. We're going to do a couple windshield wipers side to side. It's always nice to let a little exhale out your mouth. It's really calming on the nerves. Wind your knees, come back to center. We're going to hug the knees in and take a full happy baby. Elbows on insides of knees, hands on the ankles or the outside edges of the feet. Evening out hips and pelvis. Rock a little bit, massage your back. And release, bring your feet on the ground. Lay your arms alongside the body. Palms facing up, press through the feet, lift the hips and pelvis toward a bridge. You don't have to do a like super energetic bridge unless you're feeling up to it. You could interlace the fingers under the back, lift the hips, lengthen the tail away from your face. Inhale, exhale, melt down, upper back, middle back, lower back, resting, palms facing up. We're going to extend one leg out and then the other leg out. Do a little bounce through your knees. Engage your gluteal muscles. Give them a nice squeeze. Then let them go and take a Savasana. Savasana, letting go, letting the hips feel really open and fluid. Let your eyes relax. And you can stay and relax in Shavasana as long as you want today. Letting all the movement you did integrate and flow through all the cells. And when you feel ready, you start to wiggle fingers and toes, reach the arms overhead. You can invite gratitude for anything at all today. Contentment, compassion for wherever you're at. Hug your knees in. Roll to the left-hand side. Take your time to slowly come on up. Cross your non-habitual ankle on top. Sit really tall. Shoulders are going to roll a couple times. Let your shoulders relax down. Reach your arms out. We're going to inhale, sweep up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands right down through heart center. Let the elbows point down toward the hips. Thank you for practicing today. I'm wishing you peace, health, joy, strength, courage, trust on the journey. Namaste. Thank you very much. Thanks for practicing today. I really appreciate it. Again, please subscribe, share. Feel free to post some recommendations or requests in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for you.